Alright, let's talk about Carlotta, the newest Glacio Hypercarry added to Wuthering Waves. And in this video, I'm going to talk about her kit, teams, and rotation, so that way you know everything that you need to know before you roll. So let's start with her kit. So the main thing that you're trying to do is fill up Carlotta's Forte bar, so that way you can empower her Resonance Liberation. So let's discuss the multiple ways that you can fill up her Forte bar. The easiest way is by introing into her, to where you're going to get 1/4 of the bar. The second way is by doing her full basic attack chain, which will also give you 1/4 of the bar, but this is one of the slowest ways to do it. Which brings us to her next mechanic, crystals. So when you cast her skill, you're going to generate 3 crystals. And if you cast her skill again, you're going to consume all the crystals that you have. But if you have 6 crystals, which is the maximum crystals that she can hold, you're going to fill up half the bar. And the easiest way to generate 3 crystals is to intro in, but you can also heavy attack. Once your Forte bar is full, you can cast a heavy attack, which is going to empower your Resonance Liberation. This is also going to reset your skill. And now you can finally cast your Resonance Liberation to where you want a normal attack 5 times, so that way you cast your final big attack. And you usually want to set this up by casting 2 skills to set up for your next rotation. Alright, so now let's go ahead and talk about her build. So you're mainly going to be focusing on crit rate and crit damage. And you're looking somewhere between 60 to 80% crit rate, and you're trying to get as much crit damage as humanly possible. You're also going to want to make sure that you have enough energy recharge, which is going to be dependent on the team. Generally, you're going to be looking at somewhere between 120 to 130% energy, to where if you use frost supports like Zezi and Sanwa, you can go closer to that 120 energy. And the last stat that's going to be very helpful for her is skill damage, because her whole kit revolves around that. Bringing us to her Echos. Now the main set that you're going to want to focus on is the Frosty Resolve set, due to the fact that this set gives skill damage and more glacial damage than the Freezing Frost. For the boss Echo, you're going to want to go with the Sentry Construct, because even if you don't cast this Echo, you still get the bonus glacial and resonant skill damage from having the Echo equipped. And all the new boss echoes still have their skill animation active while you switch to the next character. When it comes to the main stat, you're generally going to want to go with crit rate, especially if you have her signature weapon. But depending on the weapon that you use, you could consider getting crit damage. For your 3-cost echoes, you're going to want glacial damage, but you could also consider attack. And for your 1-cost echo, you're going to want attack. So now let's go ahead and take a look at her ideal weapons. Of course, her signature weapon, the Last Dance, is going to be the perfect weapon for her, due to the fact that it increases attack as well as massively increases her skill damage. Besides that, your only other 5-star option is the Static Mist, which doesn't really do much for her besides give her energy recharge. When it comes to 4-star weapons, her best choice is going to be the Undying Flame, due to the fact that it buffs skill damage, or you can consider getting the Thunderbolt, which is a battle pass weapon, but you do have to make sure that you're able to get the stacks. Which brings us to her skills. So you're going to want to focus on her Resonance Liberation. After that, I would try to get her skill and Forte Circuit leveled up as well. Her normal and intro is not really that important, and you could probably just leave at 6. So now let's go ahead and talk about her teams. So her ideal teammate would be Zezi. This is due to the fact that her outro skill increases glacial damage as well as resonant skill damage, which is perfect for Carlotta. She also can take advantage of the new Echo set, Imperial Anthem, to where it increases her energy recharge and it also increases her coordinated attack damage, which is extremely helpful for the team. For the boss Echo, you're going to want to use the Hectic because it further increases the coordinated attack damage of Zezi. And for the main stats for the Echo, you're just going to want to build her the same way that you did for the Moonlit set, to where if you have her signature weapon, generally you're going to go with crit rate for the boss Echo, glacial damage for the 3-cost echoes, and attack for the 1-cost echoes. Another 5-star that you could consider is Jinxi. This is due to the fact that when she switches to another resonator, she automatically activates her intro. Plus, her rotation is very quick, so you're not on field for her for very long, and she does a lot of damage. The only downside with her is that you might find yourself needing more energy, so that way you can constantly activate Carlotta's Resonance Liberation. And for Jinxi, you're just going to build her as her classic main DPS. But when it comes to 4-stars, I believe Sanwa is the best one. This is due to the fact that she's able to quickly generate Concerto, so that way she can quickly intro into Carlotta. And the nice thing about Sanwa is that she's still just using the Moonlit set, to where she's just mainly trying to buff the main DPS, with the boss echo being the Impermanence Heron, which further increases your main DPS. And lastly, you could consider using Lumi. This is due to the fact that her outro skill greatly increases skill damage, but it only lasts for 10 seconds and she does take up a lot of fill time. On top of that, like Jinxi, you might find yourself needing more energy for Carlotta. So I personally like Sanwa over her, but you do have the option to build her as a main DPS or just give her the Moonlit set. And when it comes to healers, the best healer in the game is Shorekeeper. This is due to the fact that she increases the crit of the entire team. For the Echo set, you're going to want the Rejuvenating Glow set. And for the boss Echo, you're going to want Fallacy of No Return, which further increases her energy recharge and it increases the team member's attack. Your second choice would be Verena, using the exact same set and the exact same boss Echo. After that, you can consider using Yoo-Hoo, using the exact same set. Which brings us to her sequences, to where S1 allows your rotation to be slightly smoother, allowing you not to have to cast heavy attacks. On top of that, you get a boost to crit rate. But as long as you're doing the rotation properly, this really only saves you a few seconds, so it may not be worth it. S2 gives a nice boost to her Resonance Liberation. S3 gives her a whole extra skill on her outro skill, allowing her to basically do a nuke like Shorekeeper. S4 gives a whole team a skill damage boost. S5 is also a nice damage boost for her. S6 is a big damage boost, basically doubling the damage that her Resonance Liberation does. And lastly, let's showcase how she's going to look in a team, using Zezzy and Shorekeeper as teammates. So you want to start on Carlotta and do 2 skills and switch to Shorekeeper, to where you're basically just trying to get enough Concerto on Shorekeeper to activate her Liberation. You can do this by doing her basic attack combo, casting her skill into her Echo, and then casting her Liberation. Then you can enter into Zezzy, cast her Liberation, then cast her Echo. Do enough basic attacks to fill up her Forte bar and activate her skill. Make sure you do another basic attack so that way you can proc all 3 skills. From here, you intro into Carlotta, cast her skill 2 times, and you cast a heavy attack into her Resonance Liberation, to where you normal attack 5 times, leading you into her final big shot. Then cast her skill 2 times, activate her Echo, and then intro to Shorekeeper, and then simply repeat the rotation. But with that, that should be everything that you need to know before you roll. So let me know down in the comments, are you rolling for Carlotta? Are you waiting for those future characters? But other than that, I'll talk with you guys later.